What's up guys, LeopoldTheBrave here, and welcome back to Super Smash Bros. Concepts, a reboot to my Super Smash Bros. Ideas series from last year. I'm gonna be remaking some old ideas, but also making some new ones. Today, we have a new one. It's Sans from Undertale. Now this one's cool because he's actually already in Smash in a way. Some people like to say he isn't just because it's a Mii costume, but it's not really a costume, it's basically just his model. Now whether you like Sans or not, you have to admit that an indie character like him getting a playable status as a Mii fighter is a pretty big deal, especially since he even comes with his own music track. But what would happen if he was his own character? Let's see how he'd be represented. Now forgive me if I get some of the names of these attacks wrong, I only have a month's worth of Undertale knowledge. I haven't seen all the theory videos or speculation yet, so I'm just going off what I know. Sans' neutral special attack would be the Gaster Blaster. His arm turns into an arm cannon that fires a small white beam across the stage. If you hold down the button though, it'll grow larger and fire a much bigger beam that does lots more damage. However, it will leave you wide open. His side special will be the Bone Rush. Tapping the button sends out a bone attack, which seems pretty simple, don't you agree? However, every fourth use of this attack will send out a blue bone. And as you know in Undertale, the only way to avoid blue attacks is to hold completely still. When Sans uses this attack in Smash, you won't be able to shield the blue bone, you won't be able to dodge it, and you won't be able to counter it. You have to stand still. Now in Undertale, Sans is famous for being a character who has the ability to teleport, so that will be his up special, teleporting to recover. However, this is where his stamina mechanic from his battle in Undertale will be implemented, as using this move will decrease his stamina by causing his movement speed to lessen. Using it to narrowly avoid an attack though will cause his speed to increase. These increases and decreases will only last for the stock though, so it won't become too broken. And finally, Sans' down special is an attack that he and his brother possess, the Fabled Blue Attack. Similar to Mewtwo's down special, Sans can send out a short-range wave of invisible energy. If the opponent is hit, they become fast fallers and their movement speed decreases. This mimics the effects that the blue attack leaves on the players in Undertale. But of course, to keep it balanced, it'll only last for 8 seconds. Sans' final smash is his first attack. That's the joke. Please laugh. Anyways, in Undertale, Sans opens up his fight by using his strongest attack first. If it's avoided, he'll comment on how he always wondered why people never did that. Well, it seems in Smash he finally learned his lesson as it's now his final Smash. Sans will send out a powerful barrage of bone attacks and Gaster Blaster shots, some of which will even be blue attacks. You know the rule. But the funnest part about this final Smash is just like Sans, it's extremely unpredictable. It'll be different every time, while still remaining possible to dodge entirely. Not only would this final Smash be fun, but it would be a breath of fresh air too, as most newcomers have had cinematic final Smashes. When it comes to skins, I don't know any characters that could work as an alternate like Alphys to Olimar. Papyrus is too tall, and Frisk's powers are too different. Luckily, Sans is still capable of having different colors to reference and represent other characters in Undertale. As you can see, the first icon we have there is Sans himself, followed by Papyrus with the more red color scheme, Frisk, then Toriel with the lighter and purple color scheme. We have Undyne, of course, with her darker colors, Alphys with her bright yellow, Mettaton with his reds and pinks, and finally Flowey. Flowey's alt could triple up as references to Azrael and Kara as well. And if you played Undertale, it's kind of obvious why I reference Toriel for Sans more than someone like Asgore. For stages, the first one I have is a pretty popular choice. It's the Sans battle, and it's a great choice. It's a completely flat stage with hazards, the best kind of hazard stages, like PictoChat. But anyways, thanks to Sans' fourth wall breaking nature and timeline jumping, it'd be totally fine to have him back in the background controlling the stage while an actual Sans plays and fights with everyone else. You'd have more Gaster Blasters, more Bone Rushes, plus Megalovania blasting in the background. It'd be an incredibly fun time. Then of course we have Hotland, which has all kinds of puzzles that could be put in. The switches, the lasers, the air vents. Plus you could have all kinds of Undertale's iconic monsters visit in and pass by, like Heat's Flamesman, I remembered his name, or even Sunderplane could fly by, dropping a bomb or two. In fact, this could even give us a chance to play a real game of Japes. And last but not least, we have spirit battles, starting off with Undyne, who is played by Blue Pit. I know that may seem like an odd choice to some, because we have Lucario or Falco who are entirely blue like Undyne. But Pit's neutral special works really well with her spears, so I just went with him. And that's her first battle condition too, as she favors neutral specials. She will also occasionally be invincible, which is an odd reference to how she'll sometimes make it impossible for you to flee from battle. And her third condition is that she's weak to fire attacks, in reference to how you defeat her by leading her to Hotland. Next up is Frisk, played by Ness, and the battle conditions are: the enemy has increased movement speed, in reference to Undertale's combat. The enemy will unleash powerful critical hits at random, in reference to the genocide route, where most bosses can even be killed with a single hit. And the enemy tends to avoid conflict, in reference to the pacifist route. Overall, this spirit would be very neutral, just wandering around unless you mess with it first. Then the third spirit is Mettaton, played by Pink Rob. The conditions include: the enemy is metal, because, of course. The enemy loves to taunt, in reference to Mettaton's show-off personality and all the poses he does. And the enemy can use their final smash twice in a row from how much Mettaton loves to put on a show. And that's about it for San. It's time to end the video, but not before a music segment. Now, in the comment section below, let me know if the music segment goes on for too long. I think it's a great way to send off the viewers with a good feeling of the series of the character I'm talking about, but I also understand how some could see it as cheap filler to make the video longer. I asked this same thing in the last character, and most people said it was fine and that they liked the longer music segment, but a couple did have a problem with it. So I just barely made it a teeny tiny bit shorter. Let me know what you think in the comments. But for those who do think it's too long, just use the music segment as time to write out your comment and what you thought of this video, and who you want to see next. LeopoldTheBrave, out.